Hello everyone, Mr. MC here. Welcome to California, and here we are for Grand Valley. We're gonna do some good old daily racing over here in the Group 3 cars. And man, can I just say that this is one of the most beautiful tracks that we have in this game so far. And I think it's gonna be really hard to top that. I mean, just look at the bridge right there. Look at it. It's so awesome. I mean, definitely not biased because I'm from California and live near this area, but anyways, let's go ahead and see what happens in this daily race C. So here we are at the start of the race. So I'm actually in the Porsche 911 RSR, and there's a very good reason for that, and I'll talk a bit more about it as we get to that area. But let's go ahead and skip towards the start of the race. As the lights go green, I'm gonna move myself towards the very back of the pack. So one of the things I like to do in these daily races is start as close as I can to last place, unless if someone else is doing the same exact thing. But basically just challenge myself to see how many spots I can move up before the race ends. So starting in 14th place out of 15 cars. And the first thing we have coming up here are the S's, which is really hard to nail down. You don't want to get too much onto the dirt, as that can make your car lose control, as one car is going to find out the very hard way. And I got so amused watching him lose control that unfortunately I forgot to brake for my braking point, and I'm going to overshoot this turn, almost go off the cliff, and almost have someone join us as he barely stays on the road. And unfortunately I had to crawl my way back onto the road as I was in the dirt, and I had to go a bit more carefully through these twistier parts of the track as I have dirty tires. And yeah, not the best start to my run, as I was not paying attention to what was in front of me. But now I have to see if I can try to fight my way to, well, first catch up to the group in front of me and then start to make up positions along the way. But unfortunately, I'm not going to get the memo of that, as going through the final chicane before the main straight, gonna go a little too wide onto the dirt just out of the chicane, and just getting onto the dirt can really mess your momentum up. You have to slow yourself down, and unfortunately, if you have to do that, you lose so much time, as already I am more than 2.5 seconds behind the next car. So ending the first lap, just not a good run so far, so I need to get my act together and start to catch up to them. Luckily, that's not going to take too long, as the group of cars in the front are going to start to fight it out a bit. And here at Grand Valley, especially in the second sector, if you start to fight it out, you're going to lose so much time, to the point where those behind you will easily catch up to you. And luckily, this is actually the part where the Porsche excels at. It's a handling car, and this is a really technical part of the track, so this is where the Porsche is excellent at. If you can get the flow down, then this is where the car becomes really good. Unfortunately, that cannot be said on the main straight, as this car has no speed, and that's where the Ford GT, that 2018 model, will just walk all over it. But going back to the race, so I was able to catch up to 13th place, so he's in the Mazda RX Vision. And this is where it's going to get a little difficult, because he has a dirty air, which makes the cars more understeery. And the Porsche, as I just mentioned, it doesn't have as much speed, so the Mazda has a bit more speed than the Porsche, so I basically have to rely on the Mazda really messing up somewhere, or just going through some part of the track so slow that can open a window for me to just try to sneak on through. But trying to get a pass done on the main straight in the Porsche is, yeah, definitely not going to happen. And yeah, look at that, 161 miles per hour, not fast at all, as I think the 2018 Ford GT can go over 165 miles per hour if you're under someone's slipstream. So yeah, this car kind of just becomes dead on the main straight, and unfortunately not making much progress, as I'm kind of getting held up by the Mazda, and I'm kind of holding myself up as well, as I'm starting to make some mistakes. Gonna try to get a really good exit out of the hairpin, actually kind of nail it down. So now I'm right behind the Mazda again, but Again, the hard part is trying to get past the cars ahead of you when you're going through really tight technical parts where there's turn after turn after turn. Doesn't really present an opportunity to go for a move unless if you're just going to go for a big old dive bomb. But I'm going to try not to do that. Gonna see if he makes a mistake so I can just try to sneak on through as he's gonna go a bit wide. Gonna try to go for a move on the inside, but unfortunately just couldn't get the move done. He's gonna get a slightly better exit out of the previous turn, and I'm back to the drawing board. So now I gotta see where I can try to pass him, and if I'm still stuck behind him, then this is gonna be a disastrous run for me, especially after messing up on the first lap. So at this point, I'm gonna have to rely on the cars in front of me messing up and getting penalties. And luckily he's going to do just that, just mess it up, hit the side of the mountain or the hills. He's gonna be able to sneak on through and make up one position, but I need to make up a lot more positions as we're getting ready to end lap number 3. And yeah, 2.5 seconds behind the next car, so gonna have to put my head down and just try to really focus on getting these turns nailed down and getting home 150.5, so not a fast lap at all. So gonna actually skip forward through this, and since fuel and tire are not an issue, I can just focus on just trying to go as fast as I can, and luckily that does seem to be working as I'm catching up to 12th and actually 11th place, not too far ahead. And oh gosh, two cars spinning out of control, and yeah, that chicane can kick your butt if you're not too careful there. So things are starting to look good. Things are starting to look a little promising as another car went. Oh my god, what's going on over here? So went up another spot, basically just went up 3 spots at the end of the lap, getting a 140.6. So getting a bit faster, but I know I can go just a little faster. If I can somehow get into the 147s, then I'll be pretty happy about my pace, as I'm still not too familiar with this track. Later on in lap number 5, luckily the car in front has a half-second track penalty, so he's going to slow down just enough for me to be able to pass him. Actually just barely get past him before having to brake for this turn. This really sharp right turn, blind right turn that leads into the final chicane, and actually I can see 6th place from here, so 5th place actually. He's not too far up ahead, so I think there is a possibility to go for 5th place, but I do gotta try to go as fast as I can and just try to get past these cars quickly so I don't lose too much time. And we're going to skip over towards the middle of lap 7, and wow, just look at that sunset, man. This track is so beautiful. But anyways, the car in 7th place has a half-second track penalty, but again, the problem is that, especially when you're going through the tighter parts or the more technical parts of the track, yeah, you just can't really get past someone unless if you're just going to go for a massive dive bomb. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hope that he can mess it up somewhere, hopefully just pressure him into a mistake, and then just try to get past him as quickly as possible, as, well, I'm the one making the mistake now, almost going to the back of him. And I think that was an opportunity for me to try to get past him, and, well, I ruined the opportunity. I mean, either way, he's still going to serve a half-second penalty. He's going to barely get past him right before the next braking zone, and there we go. So that's another spot up. 6th place is 2.5 seconds ahead of me again, so now I just got to put my head down and just try to nail down these turns. Gonna skip forward towards the start of lap number 9. Gonna get a 148.1, so almost into the 47. So I am finding a bit more pace as the race goes on, but I know I can go faster than this, so I just gotta really put my head down, just really focus a lot more, just try to get the best exits possible, especially on the 2nd sector. Just really nail down those turns, and that's where I'll find even more time. And yeah, that's not gonna happen. Actually, I went even slower on the 9th lap, and fast forwarding towards the 10th lap, I'm stuck behind 6th place, and yeah, this is going to be really hard for me to try to get past him without having to do any sort of dive bombing, and I'm trying not to do that. I think it's really, I think some turns it's really easy to do that sort of thing, but trying not to do that. Gonna see if we try to force him into an error, but yeah, it's just not working. The dirty error is pushing me away from him, so that's not helping the cause at all. And I'm just losing a lot of pace. Yeah, I think I need a bit more work on this track. Oh my goodness, almost going to the back of him. And it's gonna see if we try to force him into an error through the final chicane. And unfortunately, that's just not gonna happen. And the slipstream isn't really going to do much for me, so yeah, just not really going to be able to catch up to him to go for a last second move. So finishing in 7th place from the back, I mean, I did make him some spots, but I know I can go a little faster than this. So let's go on over to the next race. Alright, so here we are in the next race. So this is the race right after this one. Still some pretty fast people in this time slot, so let's go ahead and get this race started. And gonna do the same thing as I did in the previous time slot, where I'm gonna pull on over towards the right, just let the rest of the cars behind through, so I can start in last place and start to make my way up. And progress is gonna come at me a bit quicker this time, going towards the end of the S's, and just gonna try to get a nice entry into the hairpin, as one car is gonna go off, another car is gonna go wide, almost go off the cliff, and already go up 2 positions. So things are already looking good so far. Went up 2 positions, now in 14th place. So now gonna see if we could try to make up any more positions, and luckily, because everyone bunched up together, I was able to catch up towards the main pack. And more progress is about to arrive, as the Mercedes on the right is going to go pretty wide on this left turn that goes into the right turn, and pretty much at this point going to go too wide with him through this right turn that goes onto the back straight, and somehow just able to get the move done. And luckily that little bit of slipstream from the car in front is going to help me solidify that overtake. So now I just got to focus on trying to catch up towards the main pack once again. Just try to get a nice clean exit out of the final chicane, as there's a bit of collisions going on in front of me, so people are going to start to slow down, going to be able to catch up to them a bit faster. A bunch of shenanigans going on the bridge going into the tunnel, and oh, what's going on over here? A bit of collisions going on. Gonna get past one car, and oh my goodness, just gonna cut it really close, almost go into the back of the car. I don't know why he slowed down right there, but anyways, went up 3 spots on the main straight, so things are looking good so far. So far in the top 10, 7th place is not too far from us, so just gonna try to put my head down once again, just focus on keeping up with the group of cars in front of me, hopefully catch up to them, and then try to get some moves done. So going towards the end of the 2nd lap, so I was able to catch up to 9th place, but not make any moves yet. But one thing I have been paying attention to is the Jaguar that is behind me. So Bacon Slayers, he's a really fast driver, and his car has more speed than mine, so he's really me in. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna signal him to pass me, and I'm purposely gonna go wide on this first turn so he can pass me without much of a fuzz, as one car went spinning around, so made up the position I just lost. So gonna try to stay in the slipstream of the Jaguar, so I can try to pretty much just work with him to catch up to more cars ahead of me. Short-term loss, long-term gain, and that long-term gain is gonna come out right here, as 4 cars in a collision make up 4 spots right away, and just go through all that without getting a single scratch. So things are looking pretty good so far. Catch up to 5th place. 4th place is not too far from us, and just gotta see if I can try to make the car in front of me mess up just enough for me to try to squeeze on through. But this is where I start to notice that there's another really fast driver just hanging out right behind me, and his car is faster than my car. So he's in the Alfa Romeo 4C, interesting choice, but his car is faster than mine on the main street, so might as well honestly just gonna let him pass me, and I'm just gonna try to stay in his toe, hopefully work together with him, and then we'll be able to gain some more positions in the long term. And yeah, this is where the plan backfired a bit, because I got a really poor exit out of the final chicane, which means I'm barely hanging on in the slipstream from the 2 cars in front of me. So unlike the first time I let someone pass me, this one isn't working out as well as I hoped. That, and I'm still trying to find my pace on this track. But some of those benefits are going to start to arrive right away, as the 4 is going to go onto the dirt and he's almost going to completely lose it, and he's actually going to go really wide, just barely stay on the track. But luckily that gave me just enough time to get past him. So up into 6th place. 4th place is still not too far ahead, and we're on lap 4, so there's still plenty of time to get some moves done. I think 3rd place is a little too far ahead unless we really messes up, but looks like the battle is for 4th place at the moment. And skipping over towards lap 5, so I was able to catch up to the group of cars in front of me again. So the fight for 4th place is still on, luckily able to catch up to 5th place. My 4th lap was alright. I still know I could go faster, but my pace is kind of getting there once again. Now I just got to see if I can try to somehow get past this Mercedes. Yeah, you can see the Mercedes just struggling to get around these tight turns, whereas the Porsche has a much easier time just trying to get around them. And I think, yeah, even through these turns, yeah, you can see the Mercedes just having a bit of a hard time just trying to make its way through. And actually, I think 4th place just got a track penalty, and he's not going to serve that until the next lap. So I will have to keep an eye out on that as lap 6 goes on. But for now, I'm just going to see if I can try to somehow make my way past 5th place and just hopefully not get held up way too much. It's going to try to be nice and careful through the chicane, try to get a good exit. And this is where it's going to get a little difficult because the Porsche doesn't have the best speed. But it looks like the Mercedes is out of the slipstream of the Alfa Romeo in front. So going to see if I can try to go for the move. He is starting to go defensive, just going to rev the heck out of 5th gear and just barely getting a pull. And just barely getting past him. Going to brake as late as I can, right at the 300 feet board, and get the move done. Just barely get the move done, and yeah, just get really close to the wall on the left. And there we go. So up into 5th place. 4th place does have a penalty that he will be serving in this lap. So let's go ahead and fast forward to that part. Just try to get the flow down throughout the 2nd sector, as this is where the Porsche just really loves to get those turns done. And the Alfa Romeo is going to go ahead and serve a 1 second penalty and somehow get a purple sector. So things are looking good so far. I think I'm starting to find a bit more pace, which makes me happy as I'm getting a bit faster on this track. Really tricky track, but I will say it's a really beautiful track as well. So we're going to fast forward towards the end of the lap to see what lap time I end up getting. And for lap 6, going to get a 1:47.8, so into the 47. So I'm pretty happy with my pace right now. Things are looking pretty good, but I think I'm just a little too far behind 3rd place to really be able to catch up to him, because he's a pretty fast driver as well. But going to skip on over towards the start of lap 8, getting 1:47.9 on lap number 7. So my pace is getting there. I know I can go a little faster, but just getting to the 1:47s, I'm feeling pretty happy so far. And can I just say, man, just look at that sunset. This is so beautiful. And I will say, I drove through this area one time, and I think this was in 2019, and man, like it was so beautiful. But anyways, that aside, going back to the race, skipping over towards the start of lap 9. So Ethan was able to catch up to me, and this is where something starts to get really annoying. So I can see that his headlights are on me, but the thing is that if I get just far enough, his headlights completely disappear, just like right now, and then they reappear again. That's not him toggling the headlights. That's just the game being really stupid, and you can kind of see that on the top right hand corner of the screen. I have the cinematic camera where his headlights are on me the entire time. Like you can see that the headlights are on me, but in the game they disappear then reappear, but he's not toggling the headlights at all. And it was really annoying to the point where I'm really starting to mess it up. I mean, I don't know if some people have had this issue, especially in this daily race since we have the nighttime stuff. But do let me know in the comments if this is a thing that you have seen, whether you're in chase cam or in any other camera perspective. But yeah, that was really distracting to the point where I'm just starting to drive like a complete idiot. And going over into lap 10, so yeah, I don't know why I call it flashlight, but the headlight issue is still going on, so it's distracting the heck out of me, and I just cannot stop paying attention to it. He's not doing anything. I swear he's not doing anything. It's just the game being stupid right now, and it's really making me make all sorts of mistakes. And actually, third place is not too far, but with the rate of things that are going right now, with me just really messing things up, yeah, I'm definitely not catching up to third place. Just gotta try not to mess up anymore. Just try to have a somewhat decent pace for the rest of this lap so that the Alfa Romeo behind me just doesn't catch up to me at all. And there we go. So getting just a little bit away from him so that the headlights hopefully don't distract me, but I'm still driving like an idiot, just going really wide when I shouldn't be. And you just got to be really careful through the final chicane, don't mess it up. And the car steps out just a little bit, and looks like I was able to just barely get an acceptable exit out of the final chicane. Now I just gotta take it nice and easy through the final turn. Unfortunately, not able to catch up to third place, but luckily I was able to finish in fourth place. So a much better run this time around, but I know my pace could be a little better. It can be a little better. Just gotta put in a lot more time to really nail down this track. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the beautiful shenanigans that happen in these races. And well, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, you can press the like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But that's gonna be it for me. This is Mr. MC8, the world's most okay player, and I'll see you in the next video.